Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this patch champion analysis, where we present the strongest champions for the mid lane right now, their respective counters, and discuss other patch changes. So I guess pretty much all of you have watched the previous video. If you didn't, I'll leave a link down below in the description for it. So there has been some changes concerning the mid lane champions from patch 8.1 to patch 8.3, and it kinda affected the meta to a certain degree. So today we're gonna discuss these changes and how much it impacts the strong champions. So starting off this with Azir. The nerf to Azir targeted his early game by increasing the cooldown on his Q from 11 seconds to 50 seconds at rank 1 and going down by a bit till rank 4. This nerf will definitely soften his early game dominance over other champions and his abusiveness in lane, especially in higher tiers. But he will still be, in my opinion, the number one mid lane champion to opt to, since his real strength comes from his insane teamfight potential, as most of the mid lane champions doesn't present to the table what he offers. I mean the 3 soldiers in the teamfight, you can just place them and safely DPS and it's GG well played. The real issue I think for Azir comes from his ability to spam W plus Q in lane without mana issues. Now moving on to the second champion we will talk about, which is Ryze. The nerf to Ryze, even though doesn't seem that big, will put him in a really poor spot. As Riot stated on the patch notes, the activating stopwatch or Zhonya's now cancels Ryze's ultimate, as though it has been interrupted by crowd control, which means we can no longer use the free escape card using Zhonya or stopwatch with his ultimate to escape. That means that the safety of escaping early game ganks and the ability to split push late without threat have been heavily reduced. Now with this, I believe that Ryze won't be picked as frequently as he was before, and probably not gonna be as viable anymore, especially in high tiers. Next, we will talk about the one-shotting machine, Zoe. Now Zoe received the cooldown nerf onto her Q, increasing it at rank 1 from 7.5 seconds to 8.5 seconds, going all the way to rank 5, reducing it by, guess what? 0.25 seconds. Now I find it kinda hilarious that this nerf actually happened, because she should have received a really big nerf since she is really strong right now. But yeah, you know the Riot memeing sometimes. So as I said before, I think she has the same problem as Azir, as Riot targeted the wrong thing to nerf, which is the early game CD, instead of reducing the actual proper OP thing about the champion. While they should make her E damage proc not scale with levels, that would actually reduce her one-shot potential, and she won't do the same absurd damage that we see right now. Now we have 2 more changes targeting mid lane champions. The first one, which is for Viktor. Now Viktor actually has been in a really poor spot on the mid lane, and now Riot are trying to kinda bring him back to the meta without actually making him broken. So the buff targeted his Q, as they say in the patch. The turbocharge now also increases Siphon's power shield value by 60%, and they actually reduced his R's cooldown at rank 2 by 10 seconds and at rank 3 by 20 seconds. Now I actually don't believe that this alone will bring him back as a strong mid lane viable champion, because the actual issues lies within his ultimate landing and his second part, which is actually really easy to dodge. And secondly, we have a nerf to Katarina, a nerf to her passive damage, Voracity. It has been reduced in the early levels and the late levels of the game, while keeping it pretty much the same at the mid game. So from this nerf, we can conclude that this nerf will actually kinda hit her pretty hard, as she will become mainly focused on being a mid game monster, with weaker early game and late game. So you could consider her less scary than she is right now, but she will still be strong in the right hands. So overall, I still believe that the strongest champion in the mid lane right now are still Azir and Zoe. Followed by Malzahar, since he didn't actually receive any nerfs or buffs, so he's still a very viable pick to go to. And for the meta counters, it's kinda similar to last video. As for Azir, you could play Zerat. He's very good into him with his range poke, his viability in the team fights also. But I actually discovered a second pick that some Korean players are actually playing into Azir and Malzahar, which is Ziggs. So Ziggs has the power to fast push lanes, which means you won't be abused under lane by Azir, and it stops the oppressive Malzahar push with his void lane. Against Zoe, you could still play Zed or Kassadin depending on if you need an AD or an AP mid laner. Finally, I have two more picks, or you could call bonus picks, that are decently good right now, which are Syndra and Cassiopeia. So these two actually does pretty good against Azir and Malzahar. Not completely stomps, but at least lanes very well. And we are seeing less assassins as outstanding picks, and more safe lanes are played. And those two specifically excel at dominating safe lanes with both pressure and good wave clear. And that will do it for this video. If you liked this, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed yet, well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And until next time, good luck on Summoner's Rift.